All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. Welcome to Finish the Story, the best storyteller show in Marietta, Georgia. I am your host, Keegan Ray. I'm joined here today. Why are we laughing at me being the host?
I'm trying to get the energy for the show set, so the laughter is in the air.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Just a little icebreaker.
You like that cop-out I just used?
Yeah. All right, I'm joined here by my co-host, best friend who's pushing that, and producer of the show on the ones and twos, Trent Lutzak. Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, big news. Big news before we get started. We now have an intro.
We do.
We now have an intro. Actually, Jim Laughlin from Mo has been so generous as to let us use a song, and we're going to get Josh, who did our artwork. We're going to get him to maybe have a little animation. So we're working on an intro, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to have a nice little intro for you, try to make this legitimate.
It's going to be fancy.
Yeah.
Bro, it's going to be the fanciest thing I've maybe ever been involved in.
I know. It's so funny, too, because I like asked him the price, and just in my mind, cartoons would just...
Yeah, you're like, that's Disney shit, bro.
Yeah.
There's
we'll
no way.
Start a GoFundMe. Yeah, he was like, gave me the price. I'm like, really? Dude, I would have been animating shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I looked into it a while ago, but for the thing that I wanted, it was like I needed too much time to get it done.
That's what he was saying.
cheap.
It really depends on the time. And for us, like a little 25-second intro, like that's definitely
Pretty
doable.
cheap.
So we'll have a cool little trippy intro. I can't wait for people to hear the music and hear the intro. I'm excited.
Can we pull up and play the song?
Yeah, maybe. We can do it at the end. Let's do it at the end. That way
Okay.
you don't have to fucking wait for
We'll play
it.
out
Dude,
with it.
So how was your, did you do any holidays?
Bro, no.
No?
Sixth
So let's get into
sixth
it.
Thanksgiving in a
Let's
row
get into
that I
this.
did not
What?
celebrate.
Let's unpack it. What's
Why?
going on?
I just don't give a shit. It's
Yeah.
like you made this a special day.
Yeah.
Why do
I made it? No,
why-
everybody made it. We
I mean-
decided collectively after the genocide.
I wasn't invited to that meeting. So I don't feel like a need to have to do that.
What are you, like in court on Blow, where he's like, hey, I was never asked about the boundaries.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like I don't know, like since I was in the Army, I think something that really broke me of my like holiday thing was in Korea. There was guard duty that there was a 24-hour guard duty that was like kind of assigned as they go through the roster of everybody, where you would have to sit in a small shack awake for 24 hours
Jesus Christ.
with one other person. Yeah. Well, I mean, you take turns napping and you'd bring like a little DVD player with a bunch of bootleg DVDs you
Dude.
got on the street.
What are y'all, like a toll booth workers? In a
Pretty
fucking
much, yeah. You're pretty much just like making sure that no random people
Yeah,
walk
yeah.
onto the job site.
Yeah.
But you need to be there overnight
Y'all are
too.
the first people killed in the action movie, like falling asleep at the little TV.
Absolutely, we are. Yeah, yeah. We're the security guard.
Yeah. Half-eaten donut.
No idea why. Like we're the idea of somebody walking up is so foreign to somebody who's doing that. Like somebody actually approaching you to be like, "Hey, I'm coming in here." Like
Yeah.
that's such a like. That's not gonna fucking happen. That if it happened, you'd be like, "What?
Yeah.
What?"
Y'all are like the dudes that were supposed to be watching Jeffrey Epstein.
And you're
They're
like,
just whoops.
And you're like, you
Whoopsie.
work there, so you're like, why do you want to go in there? That's work.
Yeah.
That place sucks.
Little whoopsie. I can't believe that either. The
But yeah.
dudes fell asleep.
Well, so here's the thing. We would do guard duty,
Okay, guard duty, 24 hours.
and people would have to get assigned to it on holidays, but you could make like $200 taking that guard duty from somebody.
Okay.
So I got into doing that.
Yeah.
And from there, it's like, I mean, I spent my Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's on guard duty in Korea, and I made like $600 off of it.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, especially because like I had a good set. Like I watched the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That's
Damn,
what I
the best
did.
seasons.
Yeah.
Those are the best seasons.
Yeah,
That's
I like-
before it.
Well, it was like I had never heard of
Yeah.
it, and it was just like, oh, there's 2 seasons of something, and
Oh,
I can
that
get
rules.
both of them for $2 from
Yeah,
this
that's
guy
a
on
good
the
time.
street.
I wish I could go back to that. To the
Yeah.
first time seeing it, you're like, that rules.
And then it ended so bad.
So poorly. So fucking bad.
So I think that started breaking from holidays, and then just
Yeah.
not being around family for a lot of them.
I think the reason that I am so excited for Christmas is because mine was so shitty last year. I had
Oh,
the
really?
world's worst Christmas last year.
How the world's worst? That seems like
Well,
there
for
were
me, it was
wars have happened. The Holocaust didn't stop on
all right,
Christmas,
not the
Keegan.
All right, I was being fucking dramatic, dude. Jesus Christ, you have to hit me with the Holocaust, dude. Oh, fucking algorithm's all fucked up now. You're like every time we post a video, it's like hashtag anti-Semite. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Oops. It won't let me delete it. It's on
like,
every video.
It's like U2 on your iPod. You're like, how is it still on here? Like, no, dude. So,
All right, so
I have Christmas. The year before, I had COVID. And this is how bad it was with COVID.
it was worse than COVID.
So me and the girl that I was living with at the time had COVID. And I'm like, wake up. And I'm like, well, it's not so bad. We're going to get to spend the day together. And she just looks over at me and she's just crying. She's like,
Oh no.
yeah, I was like, oh, it's not going to be a fun day.
You're like, you know what? I'm going to risk some grandmas and go out today.
Well, dude, no, my parents just threw my presents off the front porch.
That's
like,
hilarious.
When we pulled in, they just threw it off the front porch. Like,
That's hilarious.
yeah, it was bad. So I had COVID the year before, and then the next year I was in that shitty apartment that had no heat. So I woke up and could see my breath in my apartment.
Bro, it was like you were living in the house that the guy that worked for Scrooge lived in.
Yeah.
There's like a small child with a crutch that you don't know,
Yeah.
but he's just hanging out.
Yeah, dude, I was living in Scrooge's house, like that house that the dude worked for. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Whatever that guy's name is. Fuck,
Yeah.
what a good story if I don't remember one of the two characters in the story.
That piece of shit. And the water in the apartment didn't get warm. So it was like lukewarm. Dude, you want to talk about a bad night? Come home after work, your house is freezing, and you take a lukewarm shower.
And then you wake up and you can see your breath.
Oh, you're ready to kill yourself, dude.
Yeah.
It's not good. That's a BetterHelp ad.
What am I buying myself for Christmas? A space heater.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I was in such a bad place. I didn't have any money. I just walked out of Walmart with a heater. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, at least if they take
You're
me
like,
to jail.
arrest me. They have heat there.
Yeah, it's better in jail. So I go to
The
this
warm
Christmas.
embrace of a man will keep me warm in jail.
I'll be Little Spoon for a warm night. So I'm in a bad place, and I come home, and it just was a weird holiday. I hadn't been there in a year, and it just was weird. So I come home to this shitty apartment. I walk inside, sit down. I'm like, oh, shit. I left my all my gifts in the car. Walk back out. Not 20 minutes later, somebody had broken into my car, stolen all of my Christmas gifts. And here's the kicker, dude.
So you didn't even know what they were.
No, I knew what they were, but I just had them in bags. And I literally left them in there for 20 minutes. Guy breaks in, steals them. But he also stole my favorite jacket and a to-go bag of my shampoo and used soap.
Oh, so
now
you can't even take a lukewarm shower.
a used bar of soap. And I was like, dude, my favorite jacket. I was like, let me catch somebody at McCracken's smelling like lavender in my fucking jacket, dude. It would be on site.
If Keegan ever just starts fighting somebody at an open mic.
I just come up and take a big old whiff like, lavender? That's an interesting coat.
Bro, yeah.
TJ Maxx 2017, bro. Put your fucking hands up.
You're using your new coat to pretend you have a gun?
Oh. Dude, I had a guy try to steal my coat one time at McCracken's and was wearing it. I walked over to the coat rack and I was like, dude, my coat's not here. I look over and there's just a dude sitting in the bar with my coat on. I was like, hey, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, I grabbed the wrong coat. And I'm like,
okay, well then where's your coat?
yeah, that's what I was like, no, dude. And I was like, how dumb is this motherfucker? Like, I wasn't even mad. Like, what are you doing?
Bro, was it like a young guy or was it like one of the old drunks?
No, it was one of the younger guys that he was just hammered. I was like, he might have really, he lost his coat. He's putting mine on. Like
he's really actually lost in the sauce.
Yeah, he's way lost. He was a back bar patron. You already know how that goes.
Oh, the back bars.
Yeah. Dude, I've walked into McCracken's on the non-smoking side on a Saturday night. It looks like the ER waiting room.
Well, there's no smoking.
But you know what I'm saying? The smoking side. But
no, I don't, because it was non-smoking since I've been here.
Okay, well, it's what they called it.
What?
The side that we do open mics in.
Okay, that's the non-smoking?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the non-smoking.
Actually, I
side.
probably could have figured that out based on which side has like dry wood chips on the floor. That's
Well-
probably not the smoking side.
Yeah, it was crazy when you could smoke in McCracken's because it was so fucking just low ceilings. It
Yeah.
was not good.
Nah,
There was no ventilation.
I love an indoor smoking bar though.
Dude.
I love it.
I do too, but that place was rough. Like Nick's was a little bit better because it flowed a little bit more. But McCracken's, they have all those little like nooks.
You're just packed in. There's just
You can
clouds
still smoke
around.
in McCracken's in the basement.
Oh yeah, I always
Uh-huh.
forget about that
Yeah,
because it's
they're
not
like-
open Mondays.
Well, and they're like, it's so filthy. Who smoke
Who
away, bitch?
cares,
Yeah.
dude?
The amount of black mold you're inhaling, like who
You
cares?
used that bathroom down there? Nobody's used that in 25
Dude,
years.
that bathroom is bad.
it's
down there.
rough, dude.
that's a bad bathroom.
I will never wash my hands when I go in there because I'm literally walking in and I'm just like, I am
Yeah.
me, and I'm walking in and I'm not touching anything that's
Nothing.
not me.
Nope.
I'm just gonna pee in this water somewhere in this room.
It's crazy to think that girls sit down and pee on that toilet. I'm like, whoa, whoa. That is
Bro,
one of the.
It makes me not respect women.
If you're not hovering, you can't be going down there, dude.
No.
You're literally sitting in piss, like a bucket of piss. You might as well. Just
You better have thick thighs if you're going down. You better be able to support your body weight weirdly for
Yeah.
a while.
do not skip leg day in
No.
the downstairs bathroom at McCracken's. That shit
Yeah.
is rough, and it's never clean.
Is it worse to be like a chick who's gonna sit in this piss on this piss seat,
Yeah.
or a chick who has one of those little things that she like puts in
Oh,
like a funnel?
yeah.
Which
I don't
is
know
worse?
because what are you doing with that funnel after you piss in it? Is
That's
that
a
going
good
back
question.
Into your
It
purse? 'Cause
probably
that's a
is.
fucking problem.
It probably
like,
is.
That's a problem.
Like, and are you rinsing it out in the
Yeah.
sink?
That's a problem too.
That's also a problem.
That's problem number 2 with the fucking piss funnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
So
I
which
think,
is trashier?
Piss funnel for
Piss
sure.
funnel's trashier?
For sure.
Yeah.
At least if you sit down, it's just your butt. It's pee. It's sterile. It's not
Yeah.
that
You've
bad.
had you're a lady. You've had grosser things on your
yeah,
butt.
yeah, for sure, dude. I wouldn't even say for a lady at 33. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
A little pee on a seat from a bar is
Yeah.
the worst thing. That's not the worst thing that's been on your
And if you're
ass.
drunk, dude,
Good luck.
not even paying attention.
Yeah, nah, 12 White Claws, plop right
Dude,
down.
12 White Claws in. You're like, oh, there's White Claw
Yeah.
in this seat.
Yeah, 12 White Claws in, you're like jumping into it. You know?
12 White Claws in, you're lifting the seat and sitting in the water.
Dude, that is a big no-no.
No.
One time, my friend, she was this, so she lived by herself, lesbian girl, and she was always getting on to me. Every time I came over, we'd hang out and drink.
Because you'd leave the seat
It was
up.
about leaving the seat up, dude.
I mean, you're in her zone.
Yeah,
I'm on her side.
Exactly, right?
You're a
so
dick.
one night we're all fucked up. And we're all sitting around the kitchen table, and I just hear, "Wow!" Dude, she sat down, fell into
She
that
went in.
water. Bro, she came out like a fucking wet hen. Like, she was so angry. And there's nothing you can say to defend yourself.
No, there's nothing.
But at the same time, I was like, what do you just ass first going in there in the dark? Just
Yeah.
it is her house.
It is like, I get it's your, like, it is your fault up until the last second.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the moment that she just trusts and leans back,
Yeah, she-
it's like, okay, now it's your fault.
Yeah.
You know, like you had a lot of
Well,
opportunity to check this.
That's a tough argument to a angry
It's pretty
lesbian
tough.
with,
Yeah.
with a wet ass.
Yeah, she's mad.
Yeah, she was not happy.
So you're not friends with her anymore.
Nah, we still are, but yeah, she was pretty angry. So I always make it a point to put the seat down. I mean, it's such an easy thing to forget because in my house, it's like polite to put the seat up so that way I don't have to touch the toilet seat. I can just
Yeah,
let
that
it
would be
rip.
nice.
Yeah.
But I put the seat down on habit because you never know when I'm gonna have an explosive diarrhea. I'm kidding, but
Yeah.
no. I grew up. There were enough girls in the house that like it was enforced
Yeah.
that it's like you do this from
Yeah,
like a
explosive
child.
Diarrhea was a problem with when button up zippers that became a thing. No more
Oh.
zippers, button up fly.
That
Get
was
out of here, dude.
my family wasn't cool enough
No.
during that time. Like we didn't.
I had
didn't
one
get into it.
pair fucking nightmare, dude.
Shit stains everywhere.
Nightmare, dude. You're on a countdown. You just, fuck. Yeah, those were big when I was younger. And boy, you want to talk about a cock block?
Oh yeah,
you're like 15,
if
16.
you have to pee so bad.
Yeah. Or if you're like you're like 15, 16, trying to hook up with a girl, you're just trying to that gives them way too much time to think about it. And they're like, actually, 2 buttons down. They're
Actually,
like,
you know what?
No, I'm out.
That makes sense. Those they must have been designed by women.
And they were on the other side because, women's buttons are on the other side.
Oh, so they're confused.
So it's backwards.
Backwards ass women.
I didn't know that until I went to work one day. And I was like, wow, what a weird shirt I have. I bought a work shirt. And I'm like, the buttons are backwards.
Yeah.
One of the dudes I worked with was like, bro, that's a women's shirt. I thought it was like some European shit. I was like, this is crazy, dude.
I got this Italian shirt.
Yeah. It's
I don't know what those wops are doing with their shirts over there, but
yeah, what kind of wop
these
shit is
buttons are.
Yeah.
I mean, they drive on the wrong side. They put their buttons.
That's what I really thought. I was like, maybe it has something to do with the side of the road. Maybe, I don't know. Those fucking Italians, or they have to tear their shirt off before they fucking sexually harass a woman. Hey, I'm fucking raping over here.
And they are. They sure are.
We're kidding.
Are we? Maybe you are.
Yeah, we're kidding. So yeah, man, it's us episode.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, we did I thought last week's episode was pretty fun. We got to see Jim. That's always good.
Oh yeah.
It's always nice to see if we can rise to the occasion, or
When
if we're gonna just completely
crash and burn. We're just gonna sit there staring at each other.
Because listen, either way, guys, if we do that and we go completely embarrass ourselves, yes, we're still uploading it, and yes, next week we're gonna talk about it. It's gonna be the best episode ever because eventually it's gonna happen.
And by the way,
and it's gonna crash.
Real quick. I just want to put out real quick here. If you like that and want to see it, watch Trent's Unnamed podcast. That's like half of that show.
Yeah, you like if that's what you like.
Yeah, well, because Trent's Unnamed podcast is like a formatless Leviathan that we're all just trying to figure out how to ride.
Yeah, great analogy there.
Yeah,
dude. I like that.
I put it together on the spot. I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah. We need to have a sound that has like a point. Bing.
Can that be it?
I can for now. I like it. Can we load our own sounds into there?
Yeah, when I Google how to do that.
Nice.
Or find the manual. Oh, there it is.
So, guys, I was going to say, I was coming into this. I had the holidays. My family's crazy, both sides of my family.
Yeah, of course.
We got like 35 people.
That's the thing, Keegan. Everybody's family's crazy. Yeah. That's the thing. That's why we're
fun.
all insane people.
No, that's
is
what's
because
fun.
we all have uniquely insane families.
It's good to go and identify your individual traumas.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is where I get that from. This is where I get that crushing anxiety.
Yeah.
It's an Aunt Sherry thing.
Well, I feel like it's always been that way.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like forever it's just been we're all living in the end of the world our parents grew up in.
Yeah.
So it's like society is collapsing, but not full society, just the one that you were raised to live in.
Yeah, you're getting to watch boomers' minds melt. Like, their dystopian future just melted away.
That's the problem. Is it doesn't really melt. Like, they're melting away, but that machinery's still operating pretty hard, dude.
Yeah, that machine's still running.
Yep.
Still kicking. Nah, dude. So we're sitting at dinner. I wanted to bring this up with you. So we're at Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, no.
And it's my cousin and his girlfriend and my other cousin, Madeline. And they're talking, right? And
which cousin are you closer with?
both of them. I'm close to both.
Okay.
I see my cousin Will all the time, right? So
Will, you're on Will's side.
No, they're not arguing. It's just the comment was so funny. So Madeline was like, so y'all together, are y'all going to get married? She's like, are y'all thinking about kids? Will's like, no. I think I'm going to get a vasectomy. I don't think I want kids.
Nice.
We have cats.
The trump card.
I'm good with cats and I'm good with plants. And then Madeline looks at him. She goes, oh, I know. Kids, they'll ruin your life. They will change everything. And then she looks down at her kid that's sitting next to her and she goes, oh, honey, earmuffs.
Bro.
And she looked out. She was like, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously. guys.
Like she really has the mentality like this kid ruined my life. I'm gonna ruin this kid's life.
No, it was just funny.
That's
it was
horrible.
funny when you're having a conversation. You're like, oh yeah, well, hey, yeah, kids will change everything.
Yeah. You don't know what sucks?
Yeah.
This.
You know what ruined my body completely? I'm not gonna name any names.
I haven't slept 8 hours in 6 years.
That is the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Everybody I know that has kids talk about just not sleeping.
You just don't anymore.
What the fuck is that about?
Who gives a shit? I'm not doing it.
I don't want that part at all.
It sounds horrible.
It sounds terrible.
I've had like bouts of insomnia where like I can't sleep for like a couple nights at a time, usually due to something. And man,
what does that usually do to?
Nothing. Stress.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, bro, you start like hallucinating quick. Yeah. Like you're in no state to take care of kids when you have kids.
No,
you're like, bro, you're just a tripping zombie all the time. I feel like walking around.
I think just like a coffee monster, just completely being run by caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something fun.
You become a vessel for caffeine to do its bidding.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's the only thing. Yeah. Caffeine and fucking the fear of being arrested if this thing dies.
Oh, that's.
I think that's a big one pushing you forward.
That's got to be a big fear. Yeah. Be like, if I oopsie this one time a little too much.
And they said, my brother said they just give you the baby and walk out of the room.
Yeah,
like
that's what I heard.
Yeah, they just hand it to you.
There's
like,
yours.
What?
Hopefully you have all the shit you need.
They know I have it now. They know I have this thing.
And you can't do that. Like, you can't be like a goldfish at the fair where you win it and your parents just pick up all the stuff you need on the way home. Like, you can't do that with a baby. Like, you got to get ready.
Yeah, you got to have that shit together. You already have to have a room.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get Billy on here to talk about this.
Yeah, it would be funny to just poke at Billy about being like, hey, man, like just fuck with him psychologically.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand how you name a kid. Like, what if it comes out and it's not a Trent? You know what I mean? Like, immediately you look at it and you're like,
I don't know. I feel like it's to some extent your name forms you as you're growing up being called something.
I see what you're saying. My aunt doesn't have a middle name. And they never gave her one, and they didn't even want to name her. So,
bro, that's got to be a tough life.
So at the fucking hospital, my grandmother was just like, "I just want to go home to Georgia. I just want to go home to Georgia." And the nurse is like, "You have to name this baby." And my grandfather was like, "Fuck it, call her Georgina, and that's it," and never gave her a middle name. And like one time we were drinking like wine, and she was just like,
"Bro, they used to give the pregnant ladies good drugs when they were in labor, didn't they?"
She just wanted to fucking get out of there.
Bro, that sounds like somebody after wisdom teeth.
Yeah, exactly. That's how.
I want to go to Georgia.
That's how she got named.
Just not all there at all.
No,
you know?
Not at all. Dude,
living in a cloud.
Apparently, Steve-O, they gave him an epidural and saw how far he could run on his new special. That's like one of the
what?
Yeah, that's one of the gags.
It
they
is.
Gave him an epidural and saw how far he could run.
The one from that I think is the funniest because it's obvious how it would go, but nobody thought about how it would go, which was when shit hits the fan, where he shit on a fan.
Yeah. I mean, or the classic CKY where he runs and shits.
Yeah. I mean, have you never done that?
Ran and shit.
Yes.
No, that never came
Well,
up.
that happens in the Army.
What?
Bro, you've been drinking until 2 a.m. and then you got to wake up at 6 a.m. to run 4 miles.
Oh, God. And then you have to.
If you have 150 people doing that together on 3 days a week, you're, couple days a week, somebody's shitting their pants. And after a while, it's going to be you.
So if you shit your pants, do you get to immediately leave?
It depends how nice they are about it.
Oh, dude.
Sometimes they'll make you finish the run.
Nah, I would have to.
No, it's so some people would just be like, they just are like, run to the nearest building. Yeah. They're just breaking out. They're doing the thing. You get in trouble for that. You get in a lot of trouble because you're supposed to ask permission to go. And if you just run out, they'll be like, "Oh, well, you're abandoning your post."
Yeah, I am definitely abandoning my post. I just shit my fucking pants.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm out.
The military's the fucking worst place in the world.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, dude.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm AWOL. I quit.
Well, I told you about the sunburn thing, right?
No.
If you get badly sunburned enough that like it affects work in any way, they can write you up for damage of government property because you didn't use enough sunscreen.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Not for me, bro. No fucking way.
Yup. It's the worst place in the world.
No,
Dude,
that sounds terrible.
It's the opposite of Disneyland.
It's the actual opposite of Disney World. Well, I don't know. People shit their pants at Disney World. A lot of people shit their pants at Disney World. There's a lot of times.
Yeah, but those are different reasons.
Yeah.
You're not in the military. It's like you set yourself up to do this, right? Like you drank beer all night. You're going to have the shits in the morning and you know you have to run in the morning.
Yeah.
But at a point, they are needlessly cruel about making you keep going. Like, unless it's running down your leg, they're not going to let you leave, probably.
Dude, we had a girl in high school that shit her pants during track. She never lived it down, dude.
No, she's
Doo-doo
still...
Brown, bro. They called her Doo-doo Brown.
If you say her name right now, she still hasn't lived it down.
I mean, I remember just being like... when they were telling me the story of her shitting her pants, and like literally she shit her pants and a girl behind her was just like, oh my God. Because they're in those little track shorts.
Yeah.
So as a very,
it's clear. It's visible.
So if you're running and you're like, oh no, I'm going to shit, and then you shit your pants, your immediate thought is, I hope no one saw this. And then the first thing you hear is like, oh my God, dude. This girl shit her pants.
Probably before you could even process fully.
Oh.
Like, she probably heard that before she could even get to the point where she's like, I hope no one saw that.
No, dude.
Oh, that's rough.
That girl's, she's probably 35.
Did she win?
No. It was at practice, dude. She shit her fucking pants at practice. It wasn't a meet. There was.
I thought she was like grinding too hard trying to win.
No, that's kind of where I'm on everybody else's side. Is like, dude, it is not that serious.
No,
but she could have been sick.
I mean, she could have been, but
the warning signs are there.
Yeah, if you're sick, you know.
You know.
Yeah, like if
you're pretending.
If they gave me the option, I would have not run in the army.
It'll get better. It'll get better. It's not. It's not going to get better.
No, it's not going to get better until you obliterate a toilet, and then it'll be better. But you shouldn't be running before that happens.
Dude, I mean, just a complete... She's probably on the phone right now with BetterHelp, trying to get through that. She's trying to fucking work her way through that trauma right now. She's sitting in a therapist's office and going, and then as soon as it hit my thigh, I heard, oh my God.
And that's why I don't trust like that BetterHelp stuff. Like, I don't trust online therapy.
No.
I don't trust like phone therapy. No. I'm like, you mean the easiest way that you could possibly record all of my darkest secrets and share them with your little therapy friends?
I don't need that Instagram message. That's just the audio of me saying the most horrible shit.
Bro, they accidentally send it to somebody.
I mean, or just send it back to you and be like, hey, we're putting this out to whoever. I'm fake BetterHelp.
Oh, that would...
I conned you.
Dude, I would...
We might have just tore down the entire BetterHelp industry.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, sponsor us and we'll never tell anyone.
Yeah.
Dude, could you imagine? I've always thought, all right, so this is something I've always thought is the weirdest thing in the world. What's up with the Catholic priest doing that? Just like in the other side of a confessional, just jerking off while you tell them you're nasty. Like, that is so creepy.
It's pretty creepy, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, and what else did you do?
Well, it's...
You just hear, wow. You're like, do you have an auto blow on in there, dude? Tell me again.
Little robot hand.
Oh, she kissed your neck. You're like, whoa, dude.
I mean, like, I get the idea behind it, but like, as soon as those guys start being pedophiles, I think that you can stop telling them your secrets.
Well, and it's just the fucking, it's almost comical to be like, well, then go home and say 30 Hail Marys.
Yeah. Go talk to yourself for 30 minutes. And then God will be cool about it.
Yeah. God.
Pretty crazy.
I talked to God. He says it's okay.
Yeah.
Just keep coming and telling me about jerking off every week.
Yeah. Just as long as you tell me about every time you jerk off.
Yeah.
Don't leave one out. If you leave one out, you're gonna go to hell.
Yeah. I mean, church is weird when you're a kid anyway.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
It's
Well,
very confusing.
I never grew up Catholic, fortunately.
No, me either. Thank God. That shit was too much. I went
Yeah.
to one Catholic mass and they had a bloody Christ on the wall. That flipped me out. I did not like that shit.
Catholic, I feel like, is like one of the versions of Christianity that's truly become like a mega cult.
For
Like-
sure. For sure.
It's the original Scientology.
Scientology version
Yeah.
volume 1.
Yeah. Or like the Mormons are kind of the same thing. The Mormons are pretty fun though. I mean, until you get into like the Challenger connection and stuff.
What
But-
do you mean?
Oh, you don't know this?
No.
The
All right, let's get into it. It's a us episode. We
So
got nothing else.
the fundamentalist Church of Latter-day Saints,
Right.
the guys that are still doing like polygamy and stuff. There's this one guy, I think
Rock and
it was Warren Jeffs had like a compound where he had like
Of women?
like women, children,
Oh.
like a bunch of people, and he's just kind of overseeing this whole thing. It's all incredibly creepy
Yeah.
and not
it
good.
always goes back to fucking.
But
always.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. These people, they're also really good about stuff like taking school tax credits
Yeah,
for
I was
all
about
their
to say
kids,
taxes.
and then
Yeah,
and then
they're
they're
really good at
they're really good
taxes.
at that stuff. They're also good at setting up like businesses.
Uh-huh.
So they'll
Shell.
set up a business that is basically a bunch of children in a living room just doing a task and sending stuff out.
Yeah.
NASA bought the O-rings that failed for the Challenger from a business that was connected through to this.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. They're like, who cares if these 8-year-olds are making the O-rings?
Yeah. Pretty fun, right?
That's crazy.
So really,
Wow.
those kids really got back at one teacher, didn't they?
Yeah. God, imagine
That was a pretty rough one. That was
Imagine
a bit
that.
of a stretch.
That sucks so bad. Like, imagine knowing that, like, 8-year-olds built something for your spaceship.
Oh, yeah, if they told those astronauts in that as they got in there,
Yeah.
they all would have gotten out. They all would have been like,
It's like getting on a plane and your pilot has, like, an acoustic guitar. You're like, oh, fuck, dude. No way.
if the pilot brings an acoustic guitar into the cockpit,
yeah, he's, like, walking by you with it. You're like, we're fucked.
bro, you're like in first class and you're mad because you're like, I'm going to have to listen to this shit through the door the whole flight.
This guy's playing fucking Wonderwall. Take us down.
I'm trying to watch Clockwork Orange next to this child, but I got to listen to this guy.
Dude, last time
I got to
was on
listen
a
to this
plane-
guy try to play Simple Man for 2 hours.
Yeah, this dude's been playing John Mayer poorly. I was on a plane. Last time I was on a plane, I ate all these edibles, and this kid sat down across
as I'm sure you do every
right,
time.
Right. So this kid sits down across the aisle from me.
Not good.
And I remember he's like 5 or 6. I'm like, this kid's going to be a fucking menace. God damn it.
Yup.
About an hour or two into the flight, this kid busts out Toy Story 2. So now I'm trying to watch Toy Story 2 across the aisle, and I'm the problem because I'm like leaning over, and the kid looked at me and was like, "Damn, dude!" Like it gave
You're
me the
like,
like,
Shh, I love this movie.
"Hey, give me a pod. let me get a pod. Come on."
Oh, that's
Mom's
fun.
like, "Hey, do not talk to that man."
Bro, I saw the Antichrist on a plane once, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
It was like a short
Go
flight
on.
from like El Paso to Waco.
Okay.
Small plane where it's like 2 seats on one side, 1 row of
Uh-huh.
seats on the other.
Yeah.
So I'm on a 2-seat side. On the 1-seat side, like next to me and in front of me a little bit, where I can see his tablet, there's a kid who, and this is like the time frame, playing Five Nights at Freddy's on this airplane, this dark nighttime flight airplane.
Whoa.
There's like probably 10-year-old playing a game that's known for being terrifying. And then it's a small plane, turbulence starts. And this plane is turbulent as fuck, and this kid is just playing video. Like everybody's like getting visibly nervous.
Yeah, those planes are rough, dude.
And this kid is just playing a survival horror video game in the dark, headphones in. I'm like, buddy, there is something wrong with this
what
child.
happened to that
What
kid?
is?
Yeah. What happened to that
I'm
child?
scared.
Yeah.
Like this is probably 3 days after I got out of the army.
Yeah, he's
and
like-
I'm like, I'm scared right
He's like,
now.
nothing's scarier than daddy. It's like, damn, this kid's
Yeah.
emotionally scarred.
Dude, nerves of steel.
Yeah. That creeps me out. Kids
No.
that have nerves of steel.
Hate it.
Yeah.
I can't, like, did you ever play that game?
No.
Five
I
Nights
don't
at-
like creepy games.
Did you see it? Did you
Uh-huh.
ever? It was not a
Yeah.
fun game.
I don't like it.
No.
I never liked creepy
No.
video games.
And I try it every once in a while. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
I
get,
try it
I'll
again.
get one.
Yeah.
And I always fuck up because I do it the scariest way the first time,
Yeah.
and then I never play it again.
Yeah.
Where I'll like turn the lights off and put headphones on.
I don't like that.
I'll play for 15 minutes and I'll never touch the game
No,
again.
I don't like. That's worse than a scary movie to me.
It's
You're
horrible.
Yeah, because you're involved. You get the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Shit creeping up on you. No, I'm good.
Dude.
I don't really like creepy shit.
Alien Isolation, I think, gave me legitimate trauma.
Yeah. See, I don't need that. I don't need that. Like, life is scary enough for me. Like, I don't need to add like the difficulty. Turn the difficulty up. Like, hey, you know what's terrifying? Having an inside pain and not having insurance. You know what I'm saying?
That is
like, there's a total
That's
difference.
a scary.
I said that to somebody.
It's a
and
scary afternoon.
Yeah, they didn't
until it
understand
goes
what I
away
meant.
tomorrow.
They didn't understand what I meant. I was like, inside pain. They're like, what is that?
Yeah.
I said, outside pain is when you look down and you're like, ow, I have a cut. My finger hurts. That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll let this ride. Inside pain is where you're like, that might be a kidney.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, I hope my appendix isn't about to explode and kill me.
Yeah. I mean, dude, not having insurance is, I mean,
It's not a fun time.
it's a gamble every time.
Patrick didn't realize I didn't have insurance until very recently.
No.
He was like, because he just assumed. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, you have like a decent enough job. You probably have insurance. And it's like, no, I do not.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I'm like one broken leg away from taking me out back and putting me down like a damn horse.
Hell yeah. Can we make glue out of you?
Yeah, I was going to say, send me to the glue factory, dude. I broke my ankle. That's why people are always trying to do like play football or like pick up basketball, and I'm like,
Crazy.
No way.
Yeah. Those are rich people pastimes
Yeah,
at this
that would
point.
change my life, bro. Could you imagine if I broke my foot doing pickleball? Could you imagine?
No.
I'm out of work for 6 months for pickleball.
And it can go so bad. Like, did you see the Tom Segura video?
Yes.
Where he destroyed half of his body in one, like, try to jump.
Now imagine that, but a poor.
Game over. That's
Yeah,
game
dude.
over, dog.
Life changing.
You are on the streets forever now.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got to leave that shitty hospital. I would have been in the shitty hospital for the duration.
People are like, where are all these homeless people coming from?
That
coming-
guy just broke his pinky.
The minor
He's
minor fractures is where the homeless people are coming from.
Broken foot, homeless.
Bro, if you're broke and somebody gives you
Pneumonia,
gives
homeless.
you a Percocet, that's really I see how that gets back, because it's like, I have nothing else.
Yeah.
I might as well take Percocet
Yeah,
for a while.
you know what's better than not having a warm blanket? A warm blanket and a pill.
a forever warm blanket.
Well, not forever.
Yeah, it'll
Last
last
a couple hours.
It'll last till you get another
And then
one.
when they take that blanket away, it is very chilly. You get the fucking chills pretty bad.
It gets pretty cold out there.
Yeah, very cold out there.
Unfortunately, I only had one experience with the opiates,
Oof, yeah.
and it was wisdom teeth. They pulled my wisdom teeth in the Army, and I had like a week of them, and then I got off. But I didn't like it that much.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, like, I just slept. Like, I don't like it because I just slept the whole time. It was just a week where I was not really conscious. You know?
I'm just picturing you like, have you seen the Sleepy Time Bear on the TV?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
what I see. Just like you, just sitting in with a little sleepy hat on.
Dude, and it
Drinking a
was
cup of
like,
tea, high as fuck on.
it was
Percocets.
probably like January in Oklahoma, so it was like cold enough that we did have like little fleece cap.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
And like, you're not allowed to go on like the morning exercises, but they're not going to let you sleep in because that would be too nice.
Yeah.
So you have to sit in like a room, like a
That sounds like a
little
waking
like
nightmare.
dude. You have to sit in a classroom, and I'm just sitting there on Percocet, just like, and they're like, you can't fall asleep. The one thing you can't do, bro. Fighting a Percocet for sleep when there's literally nothing to do is like, that's a whole activity. like you do that and you're tired at the end.
That's crazy. Yeah. That should be an Olympic event.
Yeah. How long can you stay awake on
They
this
gave
perk?
this guy 40 milligrams. He's going for a minute. You're like, dude, Philadelphia would murder that trial. That'd be the #1 in the world, bro.
Yeah, they would do really well. Who else would do well?
I don't know. The Bluffs in Atlanta give a run for the money.
Yeah, yeah. I bet we could get Dave Oakley back in for
we could
one
get
more
him on a
round.
relapse. Yeah, get him out of retirement, like fucking.
Come on, Dave. The sport needs you.
Yeah, be like Aaron Rodgers of the opiate world. Come on, dude.
It would be funny if Aaron Rodgers just never came back and got really deep into opiates and was. But because here's the thing, he's rich enough that he could do that and just do that for
indefinitely
until he dies of natural non-opiate causes.
Yeah,
that would be. Imagine that life.
I mean, I think
I did
it ends
so
up
much.
with you just making like Batman posts on Instagram and drowning in a hot tub. You know, like
Yeah.
I think that's where that life ends up. Like, yeah, you're able to do it, but I think you just drown lonely in a hot tub.
You say one black lady looks like she's from Planet of the Apes, and they pull your TV show from you.
No. Yeah.
Have you seen anything that lady's done recently? The Roseanne Barr?
No.
Insane.
No.
She seems like maybe the funnest lady to hang out with for like 3 hours.
Yeah, that interview with Theo though, when he's like, she's talking about all that craziness, and he's just looking at the camera like, oh boy, like people aren't gonna like this not one bit.
Yeah, my favorite was Theo with Tucker Carlson.
That was awesome,
dude.
The cocaine clip.
The cocaine clips. There's like 2 of them. Yeah. I like that.
Tell me Tucker ain't never done something.
No, the best is when Theo's like, yeah, it wasn't a social thing for me. Like I would get a bag and like stay at home and do it. And Tucker the way that Tucker agrees with him on that, I'm like, Tucker is that guy too.
I mean, I don't think you get to be that rich for that long
No.
and go to that many of those functions and not at least try it.
Oh yeah.
And you know it's great cocaine.
Only the best.
They're not worried about
all the
fentanyl.
good stuff.
They're
is
like,
going.
we made it. Dad made it.
I brought it fresh today.
Yeah. It's like one time we did ketamine with a guy, and he's like, I got it from the doctor. We're like, oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah, great. Is that why I feel crazy?
Yeah.
Feel like a cat going to the vet. Just
I do love my favorite mental, and I haven't done ketamine, but my favorite mental image is that we've just been K-holing horses for surgery forever.
Yes. Dude, I thought that the first time I did it. I was like, is this how fucking horses feel, bro? Like Mr. Ed's just in there like, whoa. I had a friend that
horses are somehow the most enlightened of us.
They're like, you can lead me to water, but am I not the water myself? Like, wow, dude, this horse has blew my mind.
Bro, this horse's third eye is open, buddy.
He's like, lead me to water, but I am but water.
This is the only horse that can see straight ahead because his third eye's open.
This horse is in fucking Lotus.
This is a horse that can lay down for a few hours.
Yeah, dude. Could you imagine? I thought that though. When I did it, I was like, what if this is how they feel? Like they feel just like this. Like it's crazy.
The first time I found out that, because I had heard about ketamine is like that's what they give horses.
Yeah.
And then I found out that people were taking it, and I'm like, so people are having fun doing what we're just doing to horses against their will.
And they give it to cats because my buddy, when he puts
cats don't need it.
If he mixes it with something, he calls it meow mix. He's like, you want some meow mix? I'm like, no, dude. You've asked me 20 times. I don't want meow mix. No, I had a friend that went to ketamine treatment for depression. Mm. And she said the first time you go to administer an IV, you're in like a little, operational.
Office.
Yeah, like a doctor's office.
You're in an office.
So she said she does it, whatever, very minute feeling. She's like, cool. So the next time she comes in, she says, dude, same setup. They give her the IV. And then they just fucking dose
like
you.
A lot more.
Yeah, the first one is to see how your body reacts to it. The second one is your actual dose. So she says they just leave her in this doctor's office, and she's just in there tripping balls.
Oh,
like,
I bet.
What the fuck? She was like, dude, I started thinking maybe they fucked up. You know? like maybe they left the machine on. Maybe they forgot to turn the drip off. She said it was crazy. She's like, I cannot believe that I feel the way that I feel like in a doctor's office.
Yeah, the amount that they gave her in a doctor's office was crazy.
Mm-hmm. So she was like, she just didn't think you were going to trip.
Well, that would be the weirdest thing about getting, like, when they were experimenting all that
yeah.
stuff, and you just go into an office and they're like, we don't know what this is gonna do. Put this in your mouth.
We used to we sampled that Ken Kesey. If you ever like, one day you should look it up. Ken Kesey in the first LSD experiments, the author that wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, he did all like, drove further. His first LSD trip is recorded on a tape recorder. So they set him down in a room in like a psychiatric hospital, gave him a giant dose of LSD, and then just handed him a recorder. And dude, you listen to this recording and he is losing his mind.
I bet.
He's just like, the recorder looks like a frog. Funny frog, man. Frog. You're just like listening to a dude and the lady comes in and she's like, do you feel that there's still some effects of the drug? He goes, I am high out of my mind. Like, dude, they gave you no, like, this is how it's going to make you feel.
Yeah,
they just give it to you and leave you in a blank room with a recorder and a clock on the wall. He was just staring at a clock.
Well, I always liked a lot of that stuff. They were part of the tests were for like, can we incapacitate enemy soldiers with this? Those are the funnest test videos. Just watching a guy tripping balls trying to do an obstacle course.
Yeah.
How do you feel you did? I did great.
It's the best.
I did so good.
I like the one.
I've never done an obstacle course better than in my life. And he's just, you watch it and he's
just fucking falling into like the tire swing. Like, dude,
he laid in the mud for 20 minutes.
That's awesome. I like the one where they had the guys and they have like a platoon and they give them LSD and then it just cuts like 20 minutes later. The one dude's climbed a tree. Yeah. The other one's just laughing.
There's a guy literally looking at a flower.
Yeah. Another dude's just looking at the radio equipment. He just keeps laughing.
Dude, radio equipment.
Good luck, dude.
Oh man, because none of the military equipment is user friendly. So,
dude, you're just looking at it like, yeah, right,
bro. That guy forgot the last 2 years of his life and was just staring at this thing like, I know I'm supposed to know how that works.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. I mean, anything, musical instruments.
Also, I have a question. Why did they find that wasn't good for incapacitating enemy soldiers? Because it sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds like it would do exactly what you need it to do.
I've always thought if you went down to like when you saw like the BLM protests and everybody's fighting down there, I always thought you go down there with a bag full of LSD water balloons.
Oh,
bro,
no.
Gadoosh.
Bro, water balloons, every one of those water balloons. Here's the thing. Some people are going to get like a nice little splash,
Nah, you could just put
on
the
the cheek or something. But like, okay, that's more reason. I thought you were saying like fill water.
Oh, Jesus!
I'm like the 15 people around where that hits are all having life changing days.
If you got hit, just go. Just, I'm a different person,
dude. A direct hit anywhere is.
Dude, I never told you my water balloon story. One time, not with LSD, but one time I was at a church camp and we were walking down this hill. And at this church camp, we took over like a college campus. It was like summertime. We went for a summer camp. We got to stay in the dorms. And as I'm walking, dude, I got slammed so hard in the face, it knocked me like feet up in the air. I just slammed. I didn't even know what happened. I was just laying on the floor like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm just soaking wet, and I'm like, oh my. Like everything I'll get up, it's like, wee, like Saving Private Ryan. I'm just looking around like on the beach, just of Normandy, like. And all I hear is laughter, and I look up, and there's these kids. They're like on the 4th floor of this dorm. They had those things where 2 people hold either side, and one holds it back, dude. They launched this thing.
Bro, those things are crazy.
30 miles an hour, like perfect from the 4th floor.
Yeah.
And hit me.
That was their. Right now, those guys are on BetterHelp bragging up to their therapist about how cool that was.
It looked like the damn Austin sniper. The guy, I mean, dude, they hit me from so far away. They were screaming from a window like, dude, when that thing hit me, I didn't know what happened.
Oh, it is crazy, like getting hit in the head like that, where you just like, you're like, oh, I'm having a pretty good day, and then you just open your eyes and you're on the ground. You're like, what the fuck?
Both of my buddies were on either side of me, so like they threaded a needle.
Bro, you
like
you might have gotten a concussion from that.
They must have been doing that all day.
Yeah, and you were the best hit for sure.
That was probably the peak of it. They're like, got this pussy.
That was the bet. That was, bro. They stopped doing it
and
right
it was like
after
church
that.
camp, so they probably said some really lame shit like Jesus loves you.
Oh.
No, I feel like they were just
Church
hooping.
camp pranks are the
They were
worst.
hooping and hollering. They really are. Church camp pranks are the worst.
And some of the games are like needlessly violent.
yeah.
You ever play the one? We had one where they had like an 8-foot ball, like a giant inflated ball, and they would have all the kids in 4 teams making a box around the ball. The ball's in the middle. It's basically Red Rover where they call out a number or they call out like 2 or 3 numbers and like 10 kids run at the same time, all for this ball that's right in the middle. And if you get, say, like a 150-pound fat kid on one side and like a 50-pound girl on the other side, like that girl is going to get launched back to her line. Like she's like you would see people. It's a miracle sometimes where you're like, maybe God really does care for these children at these camps, because the fact that none of these kids died at any of these camps that I was at, like we were shooting guns and arrows and fucking like maybe God really is looking over these camps.
Maybe those camps.
Yeah, making sure
there's camps on an island somewhere where he's turning them.
You're right. There's some camps around where God's not really hanging out. I think
I can think of a couple in history where God might have turned a blind eye.
Yeah.
Like, hey, where were you at?
Damn,
dickhead?
we really you really hit me back for that joke earlier, didn't you? You brought it full circle.
Whoa. There we go.
Holy shit.
What?
We've been going 50 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's
awesome. We're rolling, guys.
We're rolling.
We're rolling. And you know what? I am doing it. So
You're going to do it. You brought a story. Because I was going to say, I'm like, this is probably about time to get into the story.
It should be. 50 minutes seems an appropriate time to do a story on a storytelling podcast.
Nah, no way.
Everybody's like, Jesus Christ. So here we go. I was thinking about it. I was trying to rack my brain. I know I've told you this story ad nauseum, not on the podcast, but the funniest thing was I forgot a major chunk of the story and the whole reason why I didn't tell it. But I was thinking about it. I was like, what can we tell? You know,
so
coming up on the holidays.
Hit the hard points, I'd say, on the front end.
So coming up on the holidays, what happened was I was dating a girl, right? She was a GM at a restaurant, and they call her up, and they're like, hey, what the fuck? You have $5,000 that they give you a year, like, back. So it's like a gift. They put it on a card.
Nice.
And they're like, you can't cash this out. Like, it goes away on the 31st. She's like, oh, damn. It's December 21st.
Yeah.
It's like, you got 10 days.
Ooh.
So she's like, we're like sitting there, we're drinking wine. She's like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm like,
cocaine and hookers. That's the
like,
quickest way.
Yeah, you know what? The dealers,
we can knock this out in a night.
They don't take a Visa with your company name on it.
Oh, that's true. They don't.
And they might look at the old receipt and have some questions.
That's
hey,
a good point.
Cocaine and Hookers Inc. You spent $4,000.
It looks like you spent $4,999 at the Claremont Lounge last night.
So we're down in Savannah. We're like, what are we going to do? And she's like, I've always wanted to go to Orlando and see the Harry Potter thing. So I'm like, cool, whatever. I mean, I think we could find something better to do but that's what you wanted to do. Yeah. So we go down and we're like, fuck it. We're going to go down here and we're going to try to spend as much money as we can. We're going to try to blow it. So we're like, we got tickets to go see Joe Rogan. We got tickets to go to Circus Olay. Yeah. We're just doing all this stuff. Not really thinking like we're not going to fit into any of these. Like we got a suite in the hotel. It's like, so we show up to this place and already we're like fish out of water. We show up, we're ordering bottles of champagne. Yeah. The lady's response was, well, it's 10:30 in the morning.
You got a Salt Life shirt on.
I'm in flip-flop. It's December.
Bro,
like,
you
whoa.
You have flip-flops with a bottle opener on them.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. December 21st, we're in here. So we come rolling in. So, like, we figure out that we're going to go to Harry Potter the next day, right? So we're enjoying it. So we go into the Harry Potter thing. So when you go into Universal, I'm like, I'm going to eat these mushrooms.
Good
She's
call.
like, I'm not. She was like, I am not going to eat them. I'm like, I am.
You don't want this to be a magical experience?
Yeah. She's like, no way. She only did them one other time. That's a whole nother story. She was in Amsterdam, couldn't speak the language. She said
that's
lost.
a weird place.
She said I was fucking losing it.
You need a lot of friends to talk to if you're doing that.
So I eat these mushrooms. We go into the park. Now, the first time that I really start feeling these mushrooms is before you get into the Harry Potter world. There's like a Dr. Seuss world. Like there's a whole Dr. Seuss thing before. So as we're walking around, I'm immediately like,
Yeah,
No.
because Dr. Seuss is scary.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, dude, I think I ate too many.
Dr. Seuss was hiding some shit.
Yeah, for sure, dude. You're getting the implications when you're walking around. You're like, this is crazy.
Bro, when they tear his house down, they're going to find bodies underneath.
For sure, dude.
It's going to be like John Wayne Gacy's house.
It's like Pet Cemetery, just a cat in the hat and all those fucking Lorax, all those birds. You're like, holy shit.
Just like children sewed together into these creatures.
They're like, he's got a fucking mask. A human skin mask. No, so I'm wandering around Dr. Seuss, and these mushrooms are starting to really kick in.
Really?
But I'm trying to keep it together because I don't
Yeah.
want to weird her out. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't want her to be like,
You
are
don't
you
want to
okay?
ruin her time.
Yeah, like what the fuck? This is my trip. So I'm like trying to keep it together, and we're going into the Harry Potter thing. So as we're walking up, it says an hour and a half wait. Right? She's like, all right, we'll go into the castle and wait on this ride. It's like this one ride in the castle.
And you're not in a good place to wait.
I looked at her and I said, I am so sorry, Ruth. I can't do it. I
like-
said an hour and a half is a crazy amount of time right now. I'm really coming up violently, and I can't be in a line around strangers, muggles. I can't be around muggles. So the lady, as I'm telling her.
Yeah, because you're a magical being now.
Yeah, I'm from the forest, dude.
you're-
I'm a.
You're a pureblood at this point.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm looking at her like I'm really coming up. I'm in a wizard hat, and I'm like, this might have been a poor choice. I feel like I'm kind of making a scene. And so this lady is listening to us, and she goes,
He's
hey.
wearing a wizard hat.
Yeah. She goes, hey, I couldn't help but overhear what you were saying. She's like, are you really tripping? And the lady worked there, and I looked at her, and I'm like,
Who's asking?
that depends. Yeah. I read her name tag, like, that depends, Amanda. Who the fuck are you? She's like, well, listen, I'm like the manager, like the ship supervisor. I'm just covering somebody's shift up here at the front. That's awesome. I've always wanted to eat mushrooms and come to this. This is going to be crazy. She's like, why don't you just go up the exit? Because there's 2 lines.
Yeah.
Just go up the exit. And when you get to the first checkpoint, when they ask, just tell them that Amanda sent you. And you can just keep on going.
Nice.
So the girl I'm with is like, that rules. And I'm just staring at this girl. And she's like, what? And I'm like, let me tell you something, Amanda.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I am on psychedelic mushrooms. Now, if you're telling me this as some little cute prank,
Yeah. Like if I walk up this exit line.
and this guy is like, what are you talking about? We're going to be on the news. Like, I'm going to fucking lose my mind, dude. I'm going to start tearing shit off the walls. Like,
I'm going to throw myself down the exit ramp violently.
I'll have a toddler brain. I'll start kicking my feet. I'll hold my breath and pass out. I swear to God. So
I will lock my knees in this line, I swear.
I'll slam my head against the ground. So we start, dude, and we're walking up. Now, mind you, there's an hour and a half line. So there's like a whole line of people, and we start walking in. Now, as soon as I walk in, I'm not thinking about all these people looking at us. So I'm walked in fully just like,
You're having a good time.
Just, yay! The girl that I'm with is like kind of pushing me along. And I'm just like, people are looking at us now. Don't forget, I'm in a wizard hat. So I'm walking around just like, whoa.
The wizard hat and the Salt Life shirt really pull it together.
And it's just like pictures of just like they're moving. It's like the books, like the movies, like the pictures or videos. So people are looking at us now and they're like, what the fuck is this idiot doing? He's just walking up the exit. So I'm walking up the thing and then everything snaps back to reality. And I'm looking at some 16-year-old kid and he's like,
no.
what are you doing? I'm looking at this kid, dude. His face is like melting.
That kid's tripping and actually in the line and just losing it.
So he looks at me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, and it was like in my mind, I'm like, "Oh no!" Like I can't. What am I supposed to say? And I just look at the girl and she's like, "For real?" Like it was like literally 2 minutes ago. She's like, "Amanda sent us," and the dude goes, "Oh, okay, come on." And lets us go. And we're like,
Nice.
what? So, dude, we just start walking through this castle, and I'm just taking it all in, and we're not waiting in line. And the further we go, the more people are getting pissed. And I'm like ripping my pen. I'm just like, I am out of my mind, dude. Like I am, like there's little kids that are not having as good of a time as me. This is when I kind of felt bad. So we get up to the front, and there's like a family getting on, and the guy's like, "What are you doing?" We're like, "Oh, Amanda sent us," because there's like 8 different checkpoints.
Yeah.
And the dude goes, "Oh, hold on," and he stops a family, and we're like, "No, that's okay." And he goes, "Bullshit." No, lets us on the ride. And I'm like, so we're the only 2 people on a 4-person lane, and we sit down, and I'm like tripping. And so the ride, you sit on like a little bicycle seat, and they come by and they pull the things over you.
Yeah.
I've never been on a roller
That's
coaster.
probably got to be kind of scary.
Never thought about it. So I sit down. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Dude.
And then-
I'm so excited. Immediately, dude, I'm like,
The vibe is different now.
and the guy put it too tight on me, I feel like. And I looked over at the girls and I was like, I don't like this at all. She's like, oh, babe, don't. Like, she's like trying to hold my hand. And I'm like, get off of me, stop.
You're like, I don't want you to be touching me when I scream like a baby.
I was literally thinking, I don't want you to be associated with me when I have a full, like, "Ah!" And I ripped this thing, like Hulk ripped this thing off of me. I mean, dude, the 30 seconds before this ride started lasted
the
2
worst.
years of my life. I mean, I was aging like dogs. So the ride starts, and it's like you're on a broom, and it's basically like a 3D experience with screens, and it's like a simulator, and it's taking you up, and dude, I was flying through Hogwarts. It was insanity.
You were having a good
one
time.
of the coolest things I've ever done on psychedelics, right? So we get done. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like, this is the best trip. I can't believe I did that. I'm having so much fun. She goes, yeah, there's a train. I was like, let's do it. Fuck that. Train. Let's go to the train. Like train. So the whole time I'm thinking train, open windows, blowing air. I'm like, this is going to be fantastic. If you've ever been to Harry Potter World, you know what the fucking train is.
Okay.
So you go into this thing and we sit down.
So is the train a stationary attraction? Like
I'm pretty sure it takes you somewhere. But all that I know, as soon as we sit down.
That shows how hard you're tripping. That you're like, I'm pretty sure that I got off somewhere different.
So I'm tripping so hard, I'm not even thinking about it. We're in the line to take the train. I'm laughing with her. She's like telling me, like, you got to calm down. Yeah. Chill out. Because at this point, I have so much adrenaline. I'm having such a good time.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, dude, we get into this train, and it's like a little room, and it's a child and these two people that look like something out of a fucking movie of, like, Karen and like Square Kevin.
Oh no!
And they fucking get
like
into
she's gonna be a problem. He's not gonna say anything about it.
And there's no window. They close this door and it's like a screen, so it's just like, and we're in this like fucking box with these strangers.
Good.
And I just feel her grab my hand because I'm immediately like.
She knows that.
She felt the energy shift. She's like, now I'm off the walls. All of a sudden, I start realizing what the situation is. Dude, bring up a picture of this fucking train. Imagine this. Show that, dude. So you sit down in this train car and you're that close across the seat with strangers, and they start doing voices from the movie, and there's shadows going back and forth, and it's like, oh, hello, Harry, and it's dude.
Yeah, and it's British voice, which are the most terrifying voices.
And there's shadows going everywhere, and then the Dementors come.
Oh no,
dude! I descended into hell in this little train car. And the only thing that was keeping me
the Dementors were actually
busting
sucking.
that fucking screen was this kid. I kept being like, I'm gonna freak. And then I looked at this kid and he's just looking at me like feeling my energy, and I'm over there like, I can't ruin this kid's life. I can't ruin this kid's life. Because I was just thinking, dude, this will change this kid's trajectory of his life if I just have a full psychotic meltdown in close quarters of a train car in Harry Potter. I just lose it like a fucking just have a moment. Just that kid would be like, oh my God. And I was looking at these people like, and then once I start, it's going to get bad quick, dude. Because nobody's going to hold you down. When you're a mushroom monster, bro, you're going to be like the Kool-Aid man through that thing, dude. Just, oh yeah.
You're going to be the first guy to get hit by the Harry Potter train.
Yeah, I get stunned. They have to get the taser out at fucking the Mickey Mouse is like the undercover cop. I'm just getting tased by. They got me out. The Gandalf's got his knee in my neck.
Gandalf he came from the other
Dude, it
attraction
was so
over.
bad that when we got off of this train, she could tell the energy had flipped, and she was like, I felt like you were going to a bad place. Like I got off that train, shook, dude. Shook it. I was not doing well. It was like she took me over like a kid. This is how bad it was. She took me over like a kid. So in the Harry Potter world, you can take a wand, and there's like a spout, and you go over, and if you do this thing in front of a camera, you have to do like a certain water will come down. It's like doing magic. And there's like all these 6-year-old kids. She comes walking up.
And you
hold
do
my
that.
hand, and I'm like,
does it bring you back?
I was just like, I'm having a good time. And she's like, look, Keegan, look. Oh, he waved. All the water came. I'm like, that is pretty cool. I don't know how that works.
Starts bringing you back.
Yeah, I thought fucking. Well, and you know what? I also thought if I had that kind of a meltdown, I would feel like a dickhead in a lizard hat. We have a 35-year-old male having an absolute meltdown in the train.
Yeah, there's a kid across from him playing Five Nights at Freddy's, having a great time.
He's just looking at me like, grow up, dude. Worst case scenario for mushrooms at Harry Potter World.
Dude.
I went from such a high to such a low.
Bro, like, the closest parallel to that story I have is we're too long for that.
All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Like I said, hopefully soon we'll have an intro. We're talking to everybody. We might do an intro next week and just have the music so y'all can hear the music. So
yeah.
thank y'all so much. Have a great night. Bye.